Welcome back to Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. Today we have a massive battle back on this D-Day map. It's a Lord of the Rings battle this time though, and so let me explain what's going on here. The Orcs are invading on modern LCVP landing craft. I finally learned the name of these things. And to face them are, well, you can see in the top right, about 205,000 LOTR units, I guess, because they're split up between these Rohan soldiers led by King Theoden. I flew around a little bit trying to find Theoden. He's in here somewhere, I'm pretty sure, but I could not find him for whatever reason. So yeah, there's Rohan spearmen and swordsmen there as the front line of defense. Then back here up on the hill we have Gondorians led by Aragorn and Gandalf. I think this is Aragorn here. Yep, there's Aragorn. And in the second set of Gondorians, Gandalf's leading them. The third one is by themselves for now. They don't have a leader. And in this middle here, backing up the Gondorians, are a ton of elves, led by Legolas, of course. And we can see the elves here. Legolas is here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Maybe? No, that's a tree. Never mind. He's here somewhere, scattered in this long line of elves. Should be in front, though. Okay, and finally, as kind of reinforcements, these dwarves here will come charging in. Gimli is, I think, interspersed in their lines, I'm pretty sure. He's in here somewhere. You'll have to either keep a keen eye out or just take my word for it. But yeah, this should be a massive battle. You can see 500 orcs, or sorry, not 500, 500,000 orcs and Uruk-hai are attacking the LOTR units, led by Sauron himself. So Sauron should be able to come in here. So hopefully we'll be able to see him in the battle. Hopefully we see some of the hero units fight. But let me get this thing started off, and we will see how the good guys do against this massive onslaught of orcs. So let's see this LCVP land its troops here, as the invasion has begun. Alright, LCVP boat here getting close to landing, and they're off. For whatever reason, whenever troops exit this LCVP, they always have a greenish hue around them, which is a little bit odd, but yeah, I don't know. And as you can see, the different units kind of load out in like this middle section. If they're far away, you can see their full body, but if they're in this middle range here, they kind of vanish parts of their bodies. Anyways, back to the battle. We have these Uruk-hai berserkers, or orc berserkers, and then the regular orcs, goblins, and the like. So they're coming up here. All the LOTR units, except for the dwarves and Gimli, are on guard mode. The dwarves are, of course, on attack mode, so they should be coming down the hills here. They should actually be running through now. Yep, it looks like they are just getting to the elvish lines here. But let's get back to the front of the battle so we can see the first contact by orcs to fight these Rohirrim soldiers. And comment below if you see some of the hero characters fighting that I don't see, because I'll probably be looking at the major battle here. But if any of you see the heroes, comment down below. Okay, this looks like it's going to be one of the first orcs to start attacking here, start swinging its sword. These orcs are very ugly, so we'll see how they do. Okay, and Rohan soldiers have started to battle the orcs. You can see multiple little pockets of fighting starting to form, but I'm sure the line will grow across this whole area. Should be. This outer group of Rohan soldiers hasn't seemed to be getting much orc presence. The orc lines seem to end right about here, so the orcs will have to take care of this little section. Well, not really little, but that section of Rohan soldiers. Yep, and the battle lines have started to really form here. And you can see in the top right the kill count going up. The orcs have about 17,000, 18,000 kills and climbing. The Rohan troops have about 13,000 and climbing, 14,000 now. So, yes, let's see how this battle plays out. Let's get a good look at this. Let's get some slow motion going. Now the Uruk-hai Berserkers and the regular Orcs. Let's see if I can get a good look at these models. They actually look pretty good. Alright, Rohan soldiers, a bunch of them falling. It looks like these Berserkers have kind of closed off this little pocket. Looks like one guy remains. Never mind, he's dead already. Even at slow motion, they go down fast. Okay, and the Rohan soldiers, I think their problem is the Orcs are coming en masse, while they're just sending in little bits of troopers, like a few troopers here and there, trying to get their lines. But the problem is the Orcs kill the first couple of troops that attack, and by that point the reinforcements aren't even there yet. So the Rohan troopers need a lot of troopers coming in mass as well to do some damage. Yeah, mostly Rohirrim soldiers I'm seeing. Well, there's quite a number of Orc bodies. Once the Rohan troopers start to really get a lot of troops behind them, they start to do a lot of damage, and it seems like they're starting to do that right now, getting a good solid line here, because they can't allow the Orcs to flank. So let's go down to the end of this battle here. You can see how the Orcs have pushed. You have these original battle lines that the Orcs have pushed past. Now they're beginning a second wave. So let's see who is flanking who. It appears like this group of Rohan soldiers, or at least a chunk of them, they started to flank the Orcs here, but the Orcs were able to divert some forces and started to counteract them. But let us see, as one little tip I've learned is you can kind of tell who's winning a battle by who's on top of the body pile, which makes sense. And it looks like the Rohan soldiers are on top, but only by a little bit. Only by a little bit. So a lot of fighting. Looks like they moved past into a third line of fighting. The Orcs have, at least. And then what's going on over here? Oh, so these Orcs are kind of got. They're picking off stragglers. That's what's happening. For whatever reason, in UEBS 2, some troops just kind of stand there and don't do anything. So then they usually get picked off pretty quickly. But now this group is taking out the last of these Rohan soldiers. Hopefully, these Rohan soldiers will be able to get a few kills in before their inevitable defeat. But now the Orcs are starting to cross into this patch of Rohan soldiers, which is very cool. Okay, yep, battle line still holding strong. The Rohan soldiers have been pushed back considerably. And like I said, Theoden was in this group of Rohan soldiers, but he was in the front line, so I'm pretty sure he's long dead now. But are these Orc bodies? Yeah, they're Orc bodies. Huh. So it looks like the Rohan soldiers are pushing them back, maybe? They're on very even ground. Looks like actually I think the Berserkers are a little bit more powerful than the Rohan soldiers. Oh no, these are dwarves. Never mind. These are dwarves. Oh, the dwarves are here. That makes sense. So the dwarves are pushing back the Orcs, which is very good to see. Although it looks like here the Orcs have just broken through. They're now starting to flank these dwarves here and here. And now they're picking off some of the Rohan stragglers. This is a very interesting looking battlefield. And it appears down there, they have also started to flank. And now are in large pockets. They should be starting to get up to these Gondorian troops pretty soon here, once they take care of the Rohan troopers. There's a big splotch over here. Are they... Oh yeah, I guess there's some dwarves. Very few dwarves. Now looks like no dwarves. This big crowd of Orcs has just been trying to get at. So they should get some orders, and then they'll start moving forward. They might actually go up this pass, into the Gondorian troops. They might, however, choose to divert, and yes, it looks like they are, divert into this group of dwarves that are quickly getting overrun. Yeah, it appears the orcs, just a matter of numbers, are defeating the dwarves and the Rohan units. And once again, some stragglers. Some are grouping up, trying to get a few kills in, but mainly they're just doing damage. Which, I mean, every little bit of damage matters, because it's one less swing of a sword that a Gondorian or an elf has to have. So now, over 100,000 kills for the orcs, and it looks like they are still streaming in from their LCVPs. Just above 85,000 kills for the LOTR units. And now the orcs have started to move towards the... Where are they going? They are grouping up here. Oh, they're getting orders, and then they'll head up this mountain pass here. Past these pillboxes and trenches, up to the Gondorian troops. Which... this guy's faced a weird way. I don't know why. I think they got kind of disturbed by the dwarves running through them, I think. Like, move some of these guys around. I think Gandalf should be in here somewhere. Is this him? No, that's a random Gondor trooper. He's in here somewhere. I'm sure of that. Oh, here he is. Gandalf. How you doing, buddy? Anyway, he along with his soldiers are waiting the oncoming orc horde. And they are starting to press up this ridge. Okay. You can see some Gondorian soldiers, but these orcs are probably gonna crest the hill and then be really met with some resistance. Okay, first orc cresting the hill. Okay, Gondorian soldiers holding for the moment. Hold. Maybe up. Here we go. So, some of them got their attention back, and now they're starting to meet these orcs in battle. Okay, and the battle lines have started to be drawn. Okay, is Gandalf fighting in here? He should be. I'm trying to spot him. You'd think he'd be pretty distinctive, but all the white helmets of the Gondorian troopers, it's hard to really see him. Was he up here? I think he was up here, maybe? I'm not quite sure how much health. Oh, there he is. So he hasn't quite got to the front lines quite yet. Oh, and he starts swinging his staff, knocking some orcs out of the fight. Okay, and these Gondorians getting some good swings. It looks like they are on top of the body pile and pushing them back pretty heavily, it seems. At least in this small pocket. But that might be... Whoa, big lag spike. But that might be partly due to Gandalf. But, like, look at the amount of orc bodies to Gondorian bodies. It's far in the Gondorians' favor. It looks like 10 to 1 or something like that. Okay, these are the regular orc soldiers, so it's not the berserkers. Another lag spike there. But I guess that's to be expected. So once the berserkers start coming up, I think... Yep, here are a bunch of the berserkers. I think they may be a little bit slower than the regular orcs. Yeah, look at this guy sprinting. So, but once they get involved, I think they'll be able to do a lot more than just the regular orcs. Let us head over to this section of Gondorians, or this battle line's here starting to form. And it looks like, let me go out of slow motion here. Yep, the Gondorians are starting to form lines. Okay. Comment below if you see Aragorn in this mess, because I don't think I will be able to. Because he was in, let me see, he was probably like in this group here, or they're on the other side. Yeah, comment below if you see him. I don't currently, but he might have gone with this set of soldiers. So let's see. Okay. I don't see him. But he should be able to do a lot of damage in his own right. Yeah, I don't quite see him quite yet. But there are quite a number of Gondorian troopers, once again, stragglers, that are kind of just there. Although a good solid line by the Gondorians, a little weak in some spots, but good solid line at least here in the middle. Although it appears that the Orcs are starting to flank a little bit on the edges. But let's enter cinematic mode real quick, and so we can get some good sweeping shots. What just happened? Oh, what just... Was that like some lag? They hadn't quite died yet because I was flying over here or something? That was weird. We need to go back in cinematic mode because I interrupted it. Alright, some good fighting here. Looks like the Orcs are overwhelming this small group of Gondorians. Okay, these guys running up the ridge. Okay, this group of Gondorians not doing great. Yeah, yes, the Berserkers, I think, and the regular Orcs. They're starting to chew through them a little bit more. Okay, some Gondorian. That Gondorian's really deep in their lines, and now he's dead. Oh, here he is. Here's Sauron. And Sauron can do, whoa, big leg spike. He can do a lot of damage, especially because he sends guys flying, and he just does a lot of damage regularly. So, like, how much health does this guy have? Wow, like 500,000 health, and they barely made a dent in him. This guy's gonna be hard to beat, along with his horde of Orcs. This is gonna be rough. So, let's see. Hopefully it'll show us Aragorn. Oh, lag. I think I spawned in quite a number of troopers. Alright, looks like some Gondorians fighting in here. Sauron again. Oh, that small group of Gondorians is just about dead. Okay, I think that's Legolas it's showing us. So you can... Oh, and here's some more battles. Now the Orcs are starting to take out the stragglers. More Orcs advancing on Gondorians, looks like. These look like elves, waiting their turn. Now, by now, of course, all the dwarvish soldiers are probably all dead. So their reinforcements were good while they lasted, but they lasted only a short period of time. Okay, Sauron on the move. Once again, the Orcs are mainly going after stragglers, it seems. Okay, let's check in with this battle here. A little lag. Yeah, it looks like they pushed back the Orcs here, and they're continuing to push them back over this hill, it looks like. Whoa. Although the Orcs now have just numbers advantage, and they're quickly closing them in. Very quickly. Alright, this is the middle section here. Okay, yep, just large orc packets. Oh, and it looks like we have first contact with the elves by the Orcs. Maybe. Oh, yep, it's Legolas. It's Legolas. He's fighting all by himself. And he's dead. Well, we got to see at least one hero fighting. Looks like 5 kills. He got 5 kills before he was swarmed. I mean, it's not bad. It's not great either. But, oh well. Okay, the Elvish line's starting to form. And looks like the Orcs over here are finishing up with stragglers, then they'll be heading out. It's dawn now, looks like, so how are they doing? How are the guys doing over here? Okay, actually, these Gondorians have been, well, I was about to say hardly touched, but never mind. The large group of Orcs attacking, and these guys aren't sending quite enough troops to be able to reinforce their lines. But, I mean, they actually survived so far. I think just because they were kind of out of the way, they didn't get noticed. That's like the only reason they haven't been attacked, really. But it looks like this group of Gondorians, they have a small line here. Very small, very weak line forming. Let's go back to the elves. So it looks like Well, this is weird because like they had this first line and then it just completely collapsed, and now the elves stopped sending troopers because I think the elves were holding the orcs back, so they didn't mean to send more troopers. But now the orcs are sending more soldiers. Excuse me. More soldiers in, so now they're sending a few more soldiers here. But it looks like the elves are pretty powerful. If you saw my other Lord of the Rings video, then you know that the elves, at least of the good guy factions, were the victors there, so they are the most powerful here. And they actually are pretty powerful against berserkers as well, so the elves might be the saving grace of the Lord of the Rings units. I mean, there's still an absolute horde of orcs left to deal with, but they might be able to do something about it. Yeah, because... Oh no, it's Sauron here. I was wondering why the bodies were laid out in this fashion, but it's Sauron here. Sun's guys flying. Do they survive afterwards? No, they do not. He is just that powerful. I don't even know if they're getting hits on him, because he's surrounded by his orcs, so they're taking all the damage. Okay, 160,000 kills for the LOTR units. Or not the LOTR, for the orcs. 150,000 for the good guys. So they're catching up, kill-wise it seems, but they still have a lot of work to do. Particularly in this, I don't know, is this south? I assume this is the southern portion of the map. So I'm just going to call it that. This is the southern portion. So they have a lot of work to do in the southern portion. These elves were overrun in this section, but they still have a lot of troops as backup. So I'm getting the feeling, because the LOTR units only have 33,000 troops remaining, while the orcs have about 220. So unless the elves here really step up the kill count, they're gonna have a lot of trouble taking out these orcs. Okay, who's over here? These are still Gondorians. These guys are still holding on. Which, I mean, is kind of impressive. But, yeah, these orcs are still pounding away at them. Look at all the battle lines they've just formed. You can kind of see, like, the timeline of the battle. Just by this little section here. Which is exciting. Alright, so I'm sure Gandalf is gone. Yep, Aragorn's I'm sure gone. Legolas we saw get taken out. Theoden's gone. Gimli's gone. So, other than Sauron, no hero units are alive, I'm pretty sure. Let's enter into cinematic mode real quick. See what we can see. Okay, here's some Gondorians getting just wailed upon by these berserkers. Bunch of elves getting overrun by these orcs. There's Sauron. Getting stuck on his own men, looks like. Okay, they're finishing off some of the... Can't tell if there's... Yeah, those were Gondorians, I think. Alright, a couple elf stragglers here getting taken out. Loads of elves taking on this group of berserkers here. Okay, and Gondorian troops, Elvish troops, tons of orcs, just an absolute ton of orcs. Sauron again. Looks like he's making his way somewhere. Where are you going, buddy? So he is crossing to the southern side. Where? That's a weird trajectory you're following. So he's probably going to try looping around to cut these guys off. So number of elves trying to get to the front lines here. Wait, how much health do these elves have? 600. Okay, and orcs, 350. Okay, this guy's already injured. This guy wasn't, though. Oop. And how much damage do they do? Oh, yeah, 600 damage. So each of these elf swings are killing an orc. These guys do... Let me get to the front lines. Oh, yeah, 100 damage. Okay. So, elves are highly superior to orcs. But the orcs do have numbers on their side, which I think will be the deciding factor here. Wait, so how many units? 15, just under 16,000 troops of the LOTR units are remaining, while just above 200,000 troops are the orcs. So even with the elves' superior fighting skills, the orcs just have numbers, and that's the real deciding factor here. I mean, the LTR units were outnumbered like at least 2 to 1 or more at the beginning of this thing. So the problem was like the Rohan units and the Gondorian units and the dwarves just I don't think got enough kills. The elves could hold their own, but they needed the other troops to do their part and take out a chunk of these orcs. Which, I mean, they did take a bunch of orcs out before we got to the elves, but I just don't think it was enough. Okay, although they are very similar on kill counts right now, both sides. But yeah, the elves just aren't sending enough troopers after these berserkers here. Because I think, yeah, the berserkers, wait, how much health do they have? 800, okay, and how much damage? Whoop, lag spike. Hiya! I said, hiya! I missed again. You. I've chosen you to get hit. You're already dead. 216, that is a very specific number. I must have done a glancing shot. But, so yeah, the elves are, I think, yeah, they're still better than the berserkers. But the berserkers are slightly better than the elves. Or not the elves, the regular orc units. And once again, numbers. Okay, let's head over here. This is just a massive battlefield full of these, like, just different battle lines, which I find really interesting. Like how this one decided to curve instead of, like, being a regular straight line. Which is very interesting to me, at least. Okay, still some orcs. How are the Gondorians? I'm sure they're all dead. I think they may have just gotten taken out. Because now this group of orcs, if you like look at this, it looks like the elven lines are untouched. But then you just look over here and they're just getting eaten away at. Alright, these elves trying to take out these guys. Are these mainly? Yeah, these are mainly regular orcs, it looks like. Whoa, lag. I do not like lag, but it is a necessary part of the game, it seems. Okay, yeah, it looks like mainly regular orcs. I'm not seeing many berserkers in this crowd. Yep, all the Gondorians are dead. I just love looking at the battle lines. Maybe it's just me, but it's like a timeline of the battle without like using like a replay mod or something like that. So yeah, this massive pile of orcs, like elves seem to have a very thin line, but they're still pushing the orcs back, which yeah, statistic wise makes sense, but the orcs can just keep pounding away at the elves just over and over again. And yes, they're kind of using like the Russian tactic from World War II, and I think World War I. Just send bodies at the problem and see what happens. So yeah, a few elves here fighting. The problem is, yeah, they aren't sending enough troops. They need to get in here. Alright, you. I have you, and you go slash. Alright. Come on. And I'm dead. That's too bad. I got a kill, though, I think. With my one swing of the sword. This is way too many soldiers for the elves to deal with. Okay, you have some berserkers here. And some more berserkers. Seems like there's quite a number of berserkers. More than I thought there would be. Okay, elves. Still like trickling units in. It's just not the strategy you want to have. I'm trying to like see if we can get a shot of Sauron and see where he is. Okay, more fighting up on this hill here. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. You'd think he'd be able to just kind of walk over these guys, but that's not how the game works. So right now he just has to be content with staring. So he is, yeah, he's there. So he's trying to, whoa, I think there's way too many units in that direction. Okay. So where is he trying to get to? Ooh. I'm just going to look away at this mound of bodies. Once again, battle lines just look cool. This long one here that was the first iteration, and then there were a few other iterations, but mainly it was just stragglers. Yeah, lots of elf bodies, but sprinkled in the occasional orc one or two. This is kind of sad to look at. This is crazy. Okay, so it looks like the battles are now isolated to the very north and very south of the map. And how close are we? Oh, just under 700 elves remaining. Still a ton of orcs remaining. So, yeah, the battle is just about finished here. And it looks like, yeah, these are mainly the berserkers, and the berserkers I think are the main part of why the orcs won, partly because I think these guys are, I think the regular orcs are slightly worse than like the Gondorians and maybe even the Rohirrim troopers, while the berserkers I think are either a match for them or slightly better. So the berserkers getting involved early was a big part of the victory here, it seems. Let's see if I can do some hit and run tactics. And run. And swingy sword. And run. Ouch. And swingy sword. Swingy sword. And run. Ouch. And swingy sword. Run away. Why-ya! I missed. Die. Oh, I'm dead. The orc got me. No. Alright. 70 troops. 55. Lag. 50. 40. 35. 30. 20 troopers remain. 15. 10. 9. 8. 7. And 7 remain. Lucky number 7. 183,253 orcs and Sauron remain. Oh, 4 troopers remaining. Maybe 1 trooper. 1 lonely elf, I assume. Oh, and that's it. The orcs, and led by their leader Sauron, have won, with a sizable chunk of their force remaining. So you can see like the elvish battle lines here. Well, actually, let's go back to the very beginning and let's kind of see the timeline here. So the orcs landed and started their original assault. They were able to push the Rohirrim back to this second line here. And then finally to this third line where the dwarves, looks like this is where the dwarves came in, it looks like. Which is why the line is a bit thicker, because there's just more units to fight those battles. Little holdout by, I assume, the dwarves and Rohirrim here, but it soon collapsed. Looks like at this point is where they broke through, I assume. Okay, over here, not much out of the ordinary. Well, a little bit. Looks like some stragglers, ton of Rohirrim stragglers. I assume this is also where the dwarves came in to help. Orcs blasted through them, seemingly with minimal losses. So after that, they were able to start pushing up to the Gondorian troopers. And looks like here was a holdout. And I'm still looking for Aragorn, see if he's in here. Comment below if you see him. I do not. So yeah, the orcs started blasting through here. Looks like the Gondorians were holding them off. I think I remember they were pushing them back. The Orcs got about here, then the Gondorians were just pushing them back more and more, until eventually they just got overrun just by numbers. Okay, here's another little holdout. This is a pretty big line of soldiers though, so the Gondorians did a good job of trying to hold here. Little holdout down the mountain path here. This is where Gandalf probably fell. I know it's probably impossible for me to see them, but it'd still be nice to see where Gandalf or Aragorn fell. Oh well. Alright, looks like mainly stragglers in this area, but a few holdouts that were taken out pretty quickly. Alright, this is an interesting formation just from the angle it's at. So yeah, it was Gondorians here, so it appears those Orcs came around, it looks like, and tried blasting through the side here. They pushed past this line, this line, this line, and this line, and were able to finally take out some of the stragglers, it looks like. Some more Orcs came down here, and this is like a really... I like this spot a lot, because you can see exactly where they went from. Started in that little section, blasted through that, then came here, then started to separate a little bit of their forces and get smaller holdouts there. And then finally they made it to the Elves. Long line here, like stretching almost across the whole battlefield. Of Elvish versus Orc fighting. Then some straggler deaths. Then a couple holdout and line formations here and there. And then further down the line, more of the same. This one's an interesting formation, just the way it formed. It's very, round, which is kind of rare. Usually they just are pretty straight and all. Okay, a lot of stragglers still. Long line of troops. And then finally this section of soldiers here. Looks like they got pushed back here, and then finally over here and here, where the Orcs are now, is where they end up. Okay, Sauron in this bunch, or... Yay, there he is. How much health did he have at the end of this, buddy? Not even a dent. Not even a dent in his health. He's spreading out the Orcs here. It's kind of satisfying for whatever reason. Okay. So yeah, Orcs, landslide of a victory. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't, then hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button too. If you guys want to see a sequel to this, like where I give the good guy units a bit more troops or nerf the Orcs a little more, just hit the like button and comment down below. And I'd be happy to do it. This was really fun to watch. At least for me. I hope you guys enjoyed too. But, yeah, so that's about it for me. I hope you all have a great day, and God bless.